Good morning, everyone. It's indeed an honor to be here. I'm just so stoked to be invited and speak before such an esteemed audience. And unfortunately, Mr. Rico Hison, my friend, has left us already. But you know what he said when he started off in the newsroom? You know, taga-timpla siya ng kape, fetching and doing errands, and pag kailangan ng driver, he does this. And I was thinking, parang yun ang trabaho ko nung CEO ako ng TV5. Bakit ganun? Rico, that was Rico's job when he was starting out, and that was also my job when I was CEO of TV5. But you know, what we learned in organizations and in building teams is that you do whatever it takes. Kung anong kailangan, you know, that's what you do. And today, I'm just honored to be able to share my thoughts on what it takes to win with agility and how to win with agile organizations. But before that, I'd like to invite everyone to join me in a very short breathing exercise. You know, I'm a very big advocate of breath work because I found that breathing is truly a superpower. I got an invitation to observe the practice of the Los Angeles Lakers in the first year that Phil Jackson coached them. I developed a good relationship with assistant coach Tex Winter, so they got me invited to the practice. And when I walked in, it was kind of weird because I didn't hear any balls bouncing. There was no sneakers squeaking on the floor. But instead, I saw the players of the Lakers. They were in a circle, very quiet. They had their eyes closed, and they were doing breathing exercises. Kobe Bryant was here. Shaquille O'Neal was here. Karl Malone was there. Rick Fox, all these great players. And they were very silently seated, eyes closed, doing breathing exercise. It's truly a superpower, and elite athletes do this and use it, and I find it's been very helpful in everything that I've been doing. Which you see my former PBA teams, the Talk and Text team, even the national team, Gilas, before every practice, before every game, we do our breathing exercises. So I'd like to invite everyone to join me. Just very, very short. If you can sit straight, get a comfortable position. Your backs to your seats, feet flat on the floor, and you can close your eyes if you want. And I just like invite you to take some nice deep breaths with me. Inhale, exhale. Make sure that there's no tension in your forehead, your cheekbones, your jawline. No tension, no tightness in your shoulders, no tightness in your chest, as you just breathe at your own cadence and to your own rhythm. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And as you're breathing, if a thought pops in your mind, just file it away and bring your attention back to your breath. Inhale, exhale. And now just think of something that you can be thankful for today. In the face of all the chaos around us, there's always something that we can be thankful for. Just one thing, something that we can be grateful for this day. And let's take our last 3 breaths and smile. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, smile, exhale. You can open your eyes now, and please, in your chat box, just a one-word gratitude exercise. What was that one thing you thought of? I thought of, I'm typing it on my chat box. I'm very grateful for today. Kalista, my apo, my very first granddaughter, my daughter-in-law just gave birth the other day. She came home just last night. So I'm very, very thankful for that. Grace, wow, Winrich has children. Liberty, a beautiful day. Lenny, health, good health. Rochelle, resources. Oh, May, Loria, thank you for my husband. Wow, sip-sip, ha? Trixie, my Q2 marketing team. Kids, Trees, Kathleen Mendoza, kids. My beautiful family, yes. I mean, certainly, in spite of all the chaos surrounding us, there is always something to be thankful for. And I always like to start and begin with this practice of gratitude, because my belief is that an attitude of gratitude keeps the bad attitude away. An attitude of gratitude keeps the bad attitude away. And you know, who wants to follow a negative, pessimistic leader? We'd always rather follow a positive, optimistic person, right? Who wants to go to work and be around nega people. The tawag natin doon, the nega stars. I'm sure you know what I mean. You always want to rather be around positive people. And I think that's very, very important to remind ourselves to make sure that, you know, in spite of everything that's going on, there is always something to be thankful for. And I think that one thing that's very important today is this opportunity that we have, because we know when we think of a lot of our countrymen, they don't even have that opportunity that we have today. We have this opportunity to come together. There are 230 plus people in the call. We have this opportunity to spend an hour or so in this morning and perhaps learn, share, have some fellowship, because we know a lot of our countrymen, they don't even have that luxury. They're spending all their energy trying to survive for today. They don't even have the opportunity to do this, to get a chance to do this. So let's cherish this. Let's treasure this opportunity, and let's go all in, all out. And that is what I mean when I say working all out, working with heart. Because I know very well how our less fortunate countrymen are feeling today. I mean, there are people who have lost their jobs, who are worried about their income. They're losing their business. We run the Tony and Guy chain of salons in the Philippines. We came this close, within an inch of just losing everything, because we had to shut down and be closed for business for 2 months effectively. So I know exactly how they're feeling, because you know me today as the former national team coach. I've won some awards in my lifetime, won some games, but very few people, and this is a very young audience. I'm trying to take a look at all the faces. It's a very young audience. I think you don't remember the time when I started coaching. This was way back in 1993. I started coaching in the PBA. I was 29 years old. I coached Pure Foods. And in my very first tournament, we won the championship right away. Very first tournament. We created history by being the youngest coach to win a championship in his first try. The next tournament, we went to the finals again, although we didn't win it. The next year, we went to 2 more finals, won another title. In other words, in my first 4 years at Pure Foods, it was a fantastic stretch, great performance by any stretch of the imagination. And so, you know, when my contract was up, it was renewal time in December 1996. We took the team again to the finals. Very fortunately, at the time when my contract was expiring, we went to the championship right away. Although we didn't win it, we went to the finals again. So I said, this is going to be easy. Piece of cake. I'm going to get a renewal. I'm sure they're going to give me everything that I asked for. After all, we just took it. Great performance. Imagine, to my surprise, when after listening to my pitch, our team manager says, Chot, unfortunately, we have decided not to renew your contract. Obviously, I was disappointed, but I understand that it is management's prerogative whether to renew or not a contract of their coach. So I said, that's fine. I'm going to leave, and I'm sure there's going to be another team that's going to take my services. After all, that was December 1996. I was 33 years old. I was the finest coach in the PBA. Ako yung may pinakamalaking binabayad ng fines sa commissioner's office. Palagi ako nati-technical foul. I used to always yell and curse at the referee. So bayad ako ng bayad ng multa. So they called me the finest coach in the PBA. And sure enough, before a month was over, another team, Santa Lucia Realty, hires me. And they gave me everything that I asked for. And I said, you know, I'm going to prove Pure Foods wrong. They shouldn't have let me go. Because I'm a good coach. I've got great offense. I've got great technical skills, defense, everything that you can ask for. And we very nearly did. In my very, very first tournament in Santa Lucia, we took the team to the third place trophy. First trophy in Santa Lucia history, best won-loss record in their clubs, in the organization's history so far at that point. And so I said, you see, Pure Foods was wrong. They should not have let me go because I'm a great leader. I'm a great coach. Well, I was so great that we won that third place trophy in August of 1997. And in September of 1997, Santa Lucia fires me. As in, the team manager calls me to his office one day and he says, Chot, you're fired. Darkest, most difficult, most painful moment in my career. And that gave me pause to think, why did two teams in a span of 8 months decide to fire me? And I was delivering on every important performance metric for a coach. Won-loss percentage, placement, player, everything that you were asking for from a coach, I was delivering. If my teams were coming in at last place and we were absolutely messing up and they'd fire me, fine, I would understand. But no, we were delivering. And still, two teams in a span of 8 months, effectively. Pure Foods in December 96, Santa Lucia in August or September of 1997, decided to change me. And so that gave me pause to think. And that drove two very important lessons in human relations for me. Number one lesson was that we win with people. Doesn't matter the technical skills or the abilities you have. I thought I had a very great offense, great defense, great X's and O's. But we win with people. And if our people stop playing for us, if our people stop working for us, you can throw all your skills and experience out the window. It does not mean a thing. Second thing I realized and I learned was the value of adaptability. The value of evolving with change. Agility. Because Pure Foods was trying to tell me something in December 1996, and I wouldn't listen. And it took another painful, unceremonious firing 8 months later to drive home the point that my style no longer works. Yes, I was successful with it barely 4 years ago, 5 years ago, in 1993, 94, but in 96, 97, it no longer worked. Painful episode in my career and in my life, but I think that episode has molded me into the kind of coach and the kind of leader that I am today. And what I want to share to the audience, to the HR leaders listening here this morning with us, is just to always remember, we win with people, and we've always constantly got to evolve. We have to change. And I think in its essence, that is what agility is all about. That agility is about being human, remembering the agile in HR is really about the H in HR, which is the humanity. In other words, the heart. And what we find is in this pandemic, it takes a different kind of leader. The old heroic model of leadership, the old individual heroic model of leadership no longer works. What we need today are leaders who can engage not only the minds, bodies, spirits of their people, but leaders, especially the people in this audience, HR leaders who can engage the hearts of their people. And for me, that is the essence of future fit. I always hear that phrase, coach, we want to future-proof our organization. We want to future-proof our leaders. And I say, I don't know if you can really future-proof our organization. How can we do it if we don't even know what's going to happen in the next 6 months? Think about the last 8 months, for example. We would never even imagine this to happen. So how can we future-proof ourselves when we cannot predict the future? We don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months or the next year. But while we cannot predict the future, we can prepare for it. So that is the essence of being future fit. Dear friends, dear leaders, what are we doing today to prepare for that future? The time when we were battling and trying to survive this pandemic, I think has passed. Most of us already are in the recovery stage. And a lot of us, and I'm seeing from the invitations I'm getting today, are now preparing towards the future about, getting things back to the new reality. So what are we doing to prepare for that future? We cannot predict the future, but we can prepare for it. That is the essence of Future Fit. And in that regard, I put together, and this was when I retired last year from TV5, I put together a model that I want to share with everyone, and I call it the Heart of the Future Fit Leader model. And as you will see, can you see it? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see it on your screen? Yeah, 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 thanks. As you can see, it is encased in diamond. It's shaped like a diamond because this is built and crafted from years and years of failure, rejection, losses, whatever, all the experiences that I have as a professional coach, a sports coach, executive business coach, an entrepreneur, a CEO as well. I put it together in what I think is really the essence of a future fit leader. So the HEART model, it really is an acronym for HEART. At the heart of the model is health. I mean, physical health, we really take this for granted. And we think about health only when we're starting to feel something wrong with us. But think about it. How can you as a leader effectively, truly lead when you're always at sick bay? How can you truly lead when there's always something that's wrong with you physically and you can't get up for work and you can't physically be up for the job? The value of health is very, very important individually, but more importantly, and I'm sure as HR leaders and as HR practitioners and professionals, you're going to agree, it is also about organizational health. I've had the good fortune of working with the Ayalas in Pure Foods when it was still owned by the Ayalas. And then I moved over. I was hired by the San Miguel Group to coach their team. And when it was under the Dandingko Wangko and Ramon Ang management. And then I moved over to the MVP PLDT Group. All fantastic, great companies, great conglomerates. And they're all great, smart people, very intelligent, very accomplished. But the one most important thing, it's not about the smarts or the intelligence, it's about the health. So think about it. How is your organizational health today? How healthy is your organization today? So the foundation of my Heart of a Future Fit Leader model is deep health. It's about physical health because great health, good health promotes sharper mental acuity and leads to higher emotional intelligence. The letter E of my model is emotional intelligence. It is powered by agility or an agile mindset. It is sustained by resilience. And all of these things are scaled by teammanship or team leadership, our ability to come together and build teams. Now, when I come to work in organizations, I don't tell the executives that they have to do this because chances are the executive, everyone here, you are here today. And you're in this call today because you all know the value of emotional intelligence. You understand agility, resilience. You practice all these things. That's why you're here. My job is to come in and help people and share tools that will allow your executives, your leaders, to coach these things. Yes, you understand emotional intelligence, and perhaps you are very emotionally intelligent yourself. But can you coach it? Yes, you are resilient. The reason you've been here, you've been there before, you've slipped and you've picked yourself up. You've been very resilient. But can you coach resilience? That's my job when I come into organizations. I come in and I share tools, models, frameworks to allow you and to allow your leaders to coach other people as well. And for me, just some fundamentals, what I call the ABCs of being agile, especially for HR professionals. To be agile, first, you must adopt an agile mindset. An agile mindset, Bill Gates says, success today requires the agility and drive to constantly rethink, reinvigorate, react, and reinvent. I mean, if we had a whole workshop, we could go down to the nitty-gritty of this and deep dive into this. As you can see here in the model, all of these things, Goldman chart, tools, laws of agile, 8 practices, we share about more than 20 models. This is a full 8-hour leadership workshop if we had the whole time. And so if we had the time, we could go down to dive into what an agile mindset is. But suffice to say, it is about having the drive to constantly rethink, reinvigorate, react, and reinvent. An agile mindset is about the 3 laws of agile: the law of the customer, law of small teams, the law of network. So to be agile, I think to win with agility, there is the agile framework. It is not about doing agile, it is about being agile. To be agile, you have to have an agile mindset. Next, every single HR, and this is my driving belief, and this is how I run with I partnered with our HR director when I was with TV5. You must contribute business value to your organization. Don't think of yourself merely as support or background or the traditional ways the HR people were thinking of themselves. But you've got to be part of the business. You are here to deliver business value. And you deliver business value by constantly having sight of the customer. And finally, it's about co-creation. I know the old ways of HR were, okay, I'm going to build this great employee engagement program. You know, I'm going to get all the approvals. Before you know it, it's 6 months, 9 months, 12 months before you get something approved and you launch it. In today's digitally disruptive world, so much can happen in 6 months. In 6 months, what you were planning for might be passé already, might not even be relevant anymore. But what if instead of trying to do it yourself and trying to manage others into adopting it, what if you co-create it with your head of sales, with your head of marketing, with your ops guy? It's about co-creation, coming in, come on, let's do this together, building cross-functional teams. For me, that is the essence of being agile. And so, just very similar, very faithful to my methodology, I'm going to explain, I'm going to invite you to my world. In the first place, my job is not only about the know-how, but really the how-to of the things that I teach. And part of the agile mindset is really having a growth mindset. My driving belief is that if you are a fixed mindset person, you cannot be agile. And I'm sure you know this book by Carol Dweck. She said we have got, dominantly 2 mindsets: with your fixed mindset, growth mindset. The characteristics are there on your screen. But again, the question, okay, coach, we know that it's important to have a growth mindset, but how do we have a growth mindset? So again, I'm all about practical solutions, practical tips, and the how-tos. And let me offer my thoughts. Number 1, to develop a growth mindset. First, change your talent belief. We have a tendency to think, ganito na ako pinanganak. I've been born, I was born with this. There's no way I can learn that. Change your talent belief. Understand the concept of neuroplasticity. Our brains, while we are alive, it keeps firing up those synapses, getting these connections, and we're constantly learning, constantly growing. It never ends. So whatever it is that you do not know today, you can know it. You can develop it as long as you apply yourself, put in the effort. Change your talent belief. Second, recognize your fixed mindset. Alam niyo yung fixed mindset yun, di ba sinasabi, uy, di mo kaya yan, di mo kaya yan. There's no chance. There's no way you can do that. You know, what we call the inner saboteur? That inner saboteur that says, hey, here's something new. Nah, you don't do it. That's, di mo kaya yan. You've never done anything like that. Recognize your fixed mindset voice and talk back to it with your growth mindset voice and say, well, maybe I don't know that now. I don't get it yet. But give me time and I'll put in the effort and some intentional practice behind this. And yes, I can. So I don't get it yet, but over time, yes, I can. So talk back to your fixed mindset voice with your growth mindset voice. Next, find things to do that are outside your comfort zone. I don't know if any of you follow me on social media. A couple of weeks ago, I posted a video of me trying to do yoga. And I'm a big advocate of physical workout and exercise. If you follow me, my feed is full of that. But during the pandemic, I started taking up yoga, and I'm the most inflexible tigas katawan person, you know. I mean, I'm completely, wow, yoga is, let me sprint up and down and lift weights and do all of these exercises. I'll do it, but stretching, that I'm very inflexible. But that's my way of forcing myself to stretch out of my comfort zone. I also picked up a class, and I'm trying to take a master's course on data science and analytics in the pandemic. And if you know me, you will know that I am terrible in math. I am terrible in details. But I am doing this because this is my way of forcing myself to step out of my comfort zone. And when I'm having a difficult time, I'm trying to tell myself always, it's okay, it's difficult. That means I am learning something. Growth mindset, please. And finally, find a growth mentor. So how do you develop a growth mindset? For me, that's my first five. And now I invite you to my world, the world of basketball coaches. And what we do as coaches is we break down video. And just to drive home my points on the heart of a leader and agility, I want to share a 10-second video. And this is an actual game when they made me the head coach of Gilas. One of my the key objective was to qualify for the Basketball World Championships, which was held in 2014 in Spain. And to do that, we had to finish in the top 3 in Asia in 2013, which we did after 40 years, fortunately. And so now we qualify for the World Championship. We're on our way to the World Championships, and now this is one of our preparatory tournaments. This is an Asian tournament, the FIBA Asia Cup. This is preparation going towards the World Championships. And this game was held in, of all places, believe it or not, I'm not kidding, in Wuhan, China. Yes, you can see all of those Chinese characters there. Yes, this game was held in Wuhan, China. And here is Gilas, the national team, playing the home team, China, for the only remaining trophy, the third place trophy. Both of us lost our semifinal game the night before. And so there's one trophy remaining, third place, the bronze medal. And we are playing the home crowd, and we are down by 2 points, 79-77. Then there's only 10 seconds left, and China has the ball. And here we are seeing a great example of physical health, because this is our 5th game in 6 days. We are the smallest, the shortest team in Asia. As you can tell, tayong mga Pinoy, we're cute, right? Mga cute tayo. Take a look at the height disparity here. 7'4" guy, 7'2". Look at we're so much shorter than everyone on the floor. So we're the shortest team, and we are playing our 5th game in 6 days. Great testament to our conditioning, our health, our stamina and endurance. When we go into a tournament, our objective isn't necessarily to win the championship. Our objective is to be the hardest working, best conditioned team in the league. Because I believe when we do that, the winning is going to follow. So dear friends here, as you take a look, and we're now going into the last quarter of the year. Some of you are in the last quarter of the year, some of you in your fiscal year, maybe you're at halftime, maybe you're just starting. Regardless, at this point, what is the level of stamina and endurance of your organization? Think about this pandemic and how we're dealing with it. This is a battle of attrition. This is not a sprint, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know. This is about stamina and endurance, the value of health today. And that's why I'm saying this team playing its 5th game in 6 days is showing great stamina and endurance, because even with all of those things going against us, we have put ourselves in a position to win in the last 10 seconds. Dear friends here this morning, in everything that you've been doing, have you put yourselves in a position to win? I think in the end, that's all we can ask. To put ourselves, we just give ourselves a chance for success. And I submit, organizational health, stamina, and endurance plays a key role to this. So we're down by 2 points, 10 seconds left. Let's see what happens. Full screen from Tayo's guarded by Tenorio. The referee blows a whistle, calls a foul on Ranidel de Ocampo, and Ranidel didn't touch him, and he goes this way. I didn't touch him. But the referee calls a foul nonetheless, and remarkable display of emotional intelligence, of self-restraint, self-control by Ranidel de Ocampo at this stage. I mean, he's dead tired. He could very well just get the ball, slam it down, curse the referee, get a technical foul, give 2 more free throws to the other team, game over. We would have lost this ball game. But Ranidel de Ocampo is looking straight at the bench, is looking straight at me, and I'm replying with this gesture. And I'm saying, next play. Next play. This is our gesture for next play. Play on. Emotional intelligence, the ability to manage our emotions so that we could manage our relationship with others, so that we could have higher social quotient and have better relationship management with people, our ability to influence, our ability to have empathy with our people. That's what emotional intelligence is all about. And think about it, the more chaotic things are around us, the more important it is to have peace and serenity inside of us. Lalo pong magulo sa paligid natin, lalong importante ang kapayapaan sa ating kalooban. And how do you get it? By mindfulness practice, breathing like we did, like the way we started. That's why I like to start my days with breathing and meditation. It centers me. It gives me that space so that I don't react. Stimulus, response, we have that space in the middle to prevent us from having those impulsive reactions that sometimes we might regret. So emotional intelligence and mindfulness gives us that space to step back, take a breath, and make the right choice. And Ranidel de Ocampo shows remarkable self-regulation, self-restraint in managing his emotions and great emotional intelligence here. Oops.
The ball screen from Teo's guarded by Tadalio. Well, De Ocampo clearly fouls. Liberation Cup. This is the 7.
And sure enough, China misses the first free throw. As they're taking the second free throw, we're faced with a must-get possession here. And we must make sure that if China misses the shot, we are in position to rebound. The problem is, here's a 7-footer from China. This guy is in the NBA. Here's another 7-footer from China. I mean, these were surrounded by trees. But the key, how are we able to get the rebound? It's very important in a key situation for us to secure the possession.
Wang to make it a 3-point game.
We must do this. We call this gang rebounding. Take a look. We have 5 players in white uniforms here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Japet Aguilar is covering our other player. We've got 5 white uniform players here as against only 3 from China in this shaded lane where the rebounds are won. This is our example of gang rebounding. In tough times, in times of uncertainty, in crisis situations like we face today, we must make sure that everyone in the organization is all in. Dear friends, dear leaders, in this time, this unprecedented times that we're facing, is everyone in your organization all in. For us in basketball, it's about gang rebounding. It's really about being all hands in. Everyone must be there, all hands in. That allows us to get this possession right here. Great show of our agility, our quickness, speed, quickness to the basketball. What allows L.A. Tenorio, 5'10", the shortest guy in the court, to get the ball amidst all these trees right there. Again, he used his speed, his quickness, his agility. Because all hands in allowed L.A. Tenorio to come and get the basketball. And as L.A. Tenorio gets the ball, what he's doing now is what we are calling our initiation, our transition offense, our attack, our transition initiation. So LA Tenorio is trying to get the ball as up forward as possible, as quick as possible. And take a look at our big men, Ranidel De Ocampo, Japet Aguilar, Marcos Doutet. What do you notice? They are all in running position. Their knees are bent, their arms are poised. They're ready to sprint. They're off to a running start. Nobody has their legs straight. Nobody is in a relaxed, standing still position. In your organization today, dear leaders, is everyone ready to go? Is everyone in a running start, in a running position? Or are people still laid back, waiting for whatever it is to happen? What are we trying to do? We're trying to get to the offensive end and attack even before China, the defense, has a chance to set up their defense. We're trying to get up there before the opposition has a chance to set up their defense. Another example of our agility, transitioning from defense to offense, transitioning from a stop to a running start. Agility, our ability to be able to compete against different teams. We play China, different kind of game plan. We play Iran, a Middle East country, different kind of game plan. We play a team from an Australian team, different kind of game plan. Being very agile, agility is so important in international competition. And here, Gilas shows remarkable agility in our ability to get to the ball quickly and transition right away from defense to offense, from a stopping position to a running start, to a sprint, from a stopped position into a sprint right away. And as LA Tenorio goes and pushes the ball, he is fouled right here. He is body bumped, body checked by the Chinese defender. Clear foul right here. The foul was so strong. LA's feet are lifted off the floor because he was checked because he really wants to give up a foul. But the referee does not blow his whistle. Another remarkable show of self-regulation, self-control, and emotional intelligence by LA, because again, he could have just fallen out of bounds outside, ball goes to China, game over. But also a great show of resilience on LA's part, because resilience for us demands that don't stop, never quit, keep playing. Even if the referee doesn't blow his whistle, continue playing. We build resilience in our practice. We practice 5 guys defended by 6 guys. We practice taking out the air from the ball so it's more difficult to dribble. We practice without referees so our players are not used to taking a look and waiting for the referee's call. Dear leaders, how are you building resilience practices into your ways of working? How are you able to develop resilience in your teams? Because this is not going to be the last disruption. This is not going to be the last crisis. So for us, we make it a point that we build resilience in our team by making our practices more difficult than the actual games. And because of that, LA Tenorio, even while he's falling out of bounds, is still able to make this pass to this guy here, Paul Lee. Right there. LA makes this pass here to Paul Lee, and you will ask, how is that possible? How can a guy falling out of bounds throw the ball and make sure that his teammate is there to catch it? Ladies and gentlemen, that is teamwork. That is great teammanship. Great teammanship demands that I am going to be there at the right place at the right time so that when my teammate passes the ball, I'm there to catch it. It is about dependability. It's about trusting each other. So that LA Tenorio, even if he's falling out of bounds, even if he's not looking and he throws it, he knows he's got a teammate there to catch the basketball. Great teammanship, great teamwork being displayed right here. And when Paul Lee catches the ball, he knows exactly what to do with it.
Lee lines it up. It's foul on the three-point attempt. He's going to go to the free throw line with no time. They take the fake. They all land on him.
Paulie gets fouled, and now he gets a chance to take 3 free throws.
It doesn't matter. Full lead.
And check this out. No time remaining, 0.0 remaining on the clock. And we are still 2 points down, no time remaining. How is a man with the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders still able to deliver? With the entire crowd, a hostile audience booing and distracting him, and still being able to deliver. That is about the way we teach pressure. And when we teach pressure to our players, we say, don't deny pressure. Some people say, forget, wag mo isipin yung pressure, wala yan. On the contrary, for us, we say, do not deny. In fact, accept that pressure. Understand and know that the pressure exists. But make sure you're focusing on the right things. And Paulie here, he's focusing on only 2 things. Number 1, he's focusing on his breathing. He's down-regulating his breathing. He's taking his breath, because when you are able to breathe well, it down-regulates your breathing, it lowers your heart rate, and when you have a low heart rate, it improves your chances of making a good shot. Because if your heart is beating fast, is beating rapidly, it affects your pulse rate and it affects your shooting touch. So Paulie's lowering his heart rate to make sure that he's breathing steadily, and so that his pulse is relaxed, because relaxed shooters are good shooters. And the second thing he's focused on here is his mechanics. That's all he's thinking, his heart rate and his mechanics. His legs, his shooting form, mechanics. Dear friends, dear leaders here today, yes, there is pressure. We cannot deny that pressure is there. But what are we focusing on? I submit the mechanics are very, very important. Are we focused enough on our mechanics? And for me, that is the essence of winning. WIN. What's important now? Every single one of us in this call today, think about in your organization, in my work today, WIN. What's important now?
It's the ball screen from Deo's guarded by Tenorio. Inside.
So here is Paulie. He makes the first.
Crowd trying to do everything they can. Big. Inside.
He makes the second. And this is a great picture of what a team is all about. Great shot of great teamwork. For me, teamwork is not about moving towards one direction or towards one objective. Great teamwork is about working with one heartbeat. That's what great teams do. Their ability to take a look. These guys on the bench, they're not playing, but their arms are locked together. They are cheering for their teammates. They're just as invested as the players on the floor. That's a team. In any team, championship teams, it's not only about the superstars. The role, the job of the support people, the backroom people, the admin people, HR, just as important. Because without your job, because without your efforts, the superstars cannot get their job done. Their victory is your victory and vice versa. That's a team.
This to win the bronze medal for the Philippines. Bronze medal for the Philippines. They never, ever lead in the game until time expires.
They never, ever lead in the game until time expires. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what resilience is all about. just to never, 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 ever give up. If you don't give up, there's no guarantee that you're still going to succeed. But the reverse is always true. That is, if you give up, then it's done. Then you have no chance. How are you building resilience in your line of work, in your teams?
And Paul Lee wins the medal for the Philippines. They trailed for literally 40 minutes of the game. And Paul Lee, in quite possibly his worst game of the tournament, steps up and it looks like Sunday afternoon in the gym for Paul Lee. No lineups, just him and the crowd. And the Philippines get the 80-79 win here in Wuhan.
And the final lesson is about a game of inches. Take a look at that scoreline, 80-79. One bad bounce here, one bad call there. It could have been a very different result. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a game of inches. What am I saying? Let's not wait till it's the final 10 seconds before we make our move. Everything that we do today has an effect on the final result. So congratulations. I want to champion your being here today, because just the very effort of you being here today, you are putting yourself in that position and you're trying to find ways to do things that ultimately are going to result in, hopefully, a victory. It is a game of inches. Don't wait till the final 10 seconds. And so that is my 10 leadership lessons in 10 seconds. And I just want to remind everyone that, dear leaders, what this pandemic is showing us is that we are really in a leadership pandemic of great proportions. I mean, look around us. In our communities, organizations, government, there are a lot of leaders, but there are very few good leaders. The reason I'm doing this, because my purpose is to help develop the next generation of Filipino leaders. And I hope they are here in this group, and I hope that's you, ladies and gentlemen. Be the vaccine. Be the vaccine. Because great leadership is infectious. Great leadership is contagious. And when I saw this in Tony and Guy, when I talked to our people, when this pandemic, when we had to shut down, and I was telling them, pasensya na kayo, baka hindi namin mabayaran ang sweldo nyo after the second month. And my people, they came to us, our nail technician, and said, okay lang yan, coach, basta huwag kayong bumigay kasi ikaw na lang ang sinasandalan namin. Think about it. To a very large extent, leaders, sometimes tayo na lang ang sinasandalan ng mga tao natin. We are the emotional beacons. So be that vaccine, infuse your organization with just positivity and optimism, because great leadership is infectious. Find the purpose in this pain, choose faith over fear. And I want to end by just rephrasing Ariana Huffington, one of her talks. She quoted Sir Ian Thomas, and she said, leaders, a lot of times people are yanking our hand all over the place. This is important. This is important. No, that is important. No, I need you here. This is important. That's important. But we need to pull our hand back. Put it right here where it matters. And say, no, this is important. It is about the heart. There is a science to leadership. There is an art to leadership. But the most important is the heart of a leader. To my fellow Filipinos, in Gilas, we say we fight till we cannot fight anymore for our country with all our hearts. Laban, Pilipinas, puso.